So you might imagine that you are taking some advice from one of your poet advisors, who happens to be the great poet Tiruvalluvar, who is now among your circle of advisors, who is now one of the people you can turn to for wisdom and advice. And he says this: even if born high, the unlearned cannot reach the greatness of the learned born low. மேல்பிறந்தார் ஆயினும் கல்லாதார் கீழ்பிறந்தும் கற்றார் அனைத்திலர் பாடு. Even if born high, the unlearned cannot reach the greatness of the learned born low. This idea of being born high or being born low can be understood in a number of ways. We can see it reflecting the caste system, where somebody is born into a high caste or an upper caste, or conversely into a low caste, low social status. But of course, this idea of high and low is easily transposed to 21st century North America, to take just one example. What does it mean to be born into a position of privilege, a high position, whether that's because of race, whether that's because of economic status or class? What does it mean to be born into a quote unquote low position by any number of the same so-called criteria? And notice how Tiruvalluvar says, you know, you may be born to the highest of the high classes, castes, whatever category happens to be in vogue. But if you haven't bothered to learn, you're nothing. You cannot reach the greatness of somebody who may be, through no fault of their own, born into circumstances where they are at the bottom of the social totem pole, the social ladder. But through learning, through the sacred, unperishing prosperity that learning offers us, they are able to achieve greatness. And so what we see here is that greatness, the possibility of greatness, is not a given. A person is not born into greatness. A person achieves greatness. So another way of reading the entire Kural, in fact, is as a guide to what does it mean to achieve greatness in one's own life. What does it mean to achieve excellence in one's own life? In fact, this makes an interesting comparison for a cross-civilizational comparison. If we go back to the beginning of Western philosophy, we find the philosopher Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, being interested in what we could translate as virtue, but what we could also translate as human excellence. What does it mean to be an excellent human being? We could also translate that into, what does it mean to be truly great? What does it mean to embody, to achieve greatness in one's own life?